We are honored to have you aboard Dragon Capsule Freedom today on its next trip to the International Space Station, the second Axiom crew mission.
So much of everything feels like another training event, but when you got out onto the pad and this vehicle's like smoking.
Commander is Peggy Whitson. She's a NASA rock star.
Whitson has spent more time in space than any other person in America.
And now, in retirement, she's going back.
It's a fascinating thing when you realize this large perimeter of the Kennedy Space Center is locked down for you. That it's you driving to this rocket, to get on this rocket, to leave the planet. You know, I've followed the space program since I was 8 years old. To actually be in that seat.
Good luck, Godspeed, and enjoy the ride.
Let freedom fly.
It's really about taking all of humanity into space.
Throughout my career journey, I've been waiting for this breakthrough moment. I'm ready.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
We are trying to help humanity have better life, better technology, better health. This is what astronauts are here for.
3, 2, 1.
This private company, Axiom, wants to build its own private orbiting space station. But this mission today is about taking its crew members to the International Station.
The crew for this mission is led by Commander Peggy Whitson.
22-year veteran of NASA and actually served as the first female commander of the ISS.
Peggy loves space. When I left NASA, I wasn't sure that I'd ever have another opportunity to fly again. I'm really excited to take this crew up to the space station because they're all rookies, and this is going to be fun to just relive first moments with them.
John Schaffner will be the pilot on the mission.
A STEAM education advocate and participates in extreme sports from hang gliding to base jumping to high-performance racing.
It was an early interest of mine to be an astronaut. It was still something that I would always look at when the shuttle would fly and think I could have been there doing this or that. But I eventually let it go. And the moment I heard about this opportunity, I knew I would be on board.
Saudi Arabia will be sending its first ever female astronaut into space.
A cancer stem cell research specialist and will focus on advancing breast cancer research.
Almost 15 years of doing science and research here on Earth. Getting the chance to do all of that in space, it's just mind-blowing to me.
She'll be accompanied to the ISS by Ali Al-Qarni.
All right, let's do this.
An Air Force captain in the Royal Saudi Air Force.
39 years ago, the first Saudi Arabian astronaut, Prince Sultan bin Salman, flew in a space shuttle mission. And now we are trying to reach out to people and try to inspire people and make them want to be part of this field again.
These folks, the X2 crew members, are pioneers. It will make it possible for others in the future to get to experience space. It's a compelling mission. People are really excited about this.
A win for me is to get a whole bunch of young folks who really want to explore space and who want to develop the technologies that are going to get us further and further out there.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, we're very close right now. We're about to be a whole lot farther away. Tell me, first off, how's the training going and what's the launch window looking like?
Well, the training is going really well. I mean, the training is pretty extensive and kind of diverse.
So what you pick? So I got here the noodles and chicken. So I'm gonna try it for the first time.
I have the cream spinach and lemon lime as a drink.
Today we were learning about how to make food in space. Okay. So usually, you have the MRE style, which are actually nice for a lot of the meats and stuff. Today I had red beans and rice, which was quite tasty.
We are in the building 9. This is the ISS mock-up, and this is like the Capcom, the control.
Houston, once you get the hatch closed, we'll take care of it. One of the critical things here is to experience a stressful condition, an emergency condition, so that we can maintain safety for not just us, but for the station crew.
Then we have to be able to work and do the objectives.
Middlesboro Independent School Systems was our home where I grew up. Decided to become a STEM certified school. So part of my mission is in support of that. I'm working to try to help them directly to achieve that.
I think John and we are sharing some of the same goals, which is just inspiring a new generation to study the STEM fields, which is science, technology, engineer, and math.
Axiom's long-term goal is to fly our own space station. And this mission will help us understand what we need to do on our side to fly our own space station. How do we take care of the crew on our own? What kind of provisions do we need to make sure that they have? For a private company to take that on, it's a big challenge. And so we're using AX2 as a precursor mission to help us learn for the Axiom station.
Right now, we're inside the habitat that we are going to be living in for the next 5 days. It's called the Hera habitat.
This is a unique opportunity that we're able to conduct with the AX2 crew at JSC.
For us, we're doing it to try and get the operations feel of a timeline and doing activities on that timeline.
After 2 days of systems training and general familiarization, we set out to perform 5 days of operations.
This is how our crew quarters look like. We have our beds and bed sheets, pillows. It's a big honor to be able to go to space and at the same time do the things that you love the most on board station. I can feel the weight of the responsibility that I'm carrying as well. It feels like me and Ali represent the ambition of all Saudis back home.
So we had a fire warning when we were asleep at 4 a.m. in the morning. So we had to wake up, get downstairs in our pajamas and trying to work out the procedure for that.
It became very real to us. So we had 5 days of good solid grounding on what it's going to be like for our Axiom trip to the ISS next year.
Hello. On behalf of Axiom, I just want to congratulate you all. Solidifies that we're going to have a successful mission on AX2.
Hey guys.
Hi. How's it going? So we are a week out of launch date.
We find ourselves in, as most astronauts do right before launch, in sunny, warm Florida, in quarantine. It's our final preparation before we go to space.
We kind of call it like space prison. You know, it's pre-flight space prison.
Since we started the training, I didn't feel nervous, but right now I can feel the pressure start building up. I mean, we've been through a lot to be here.
We trained not only in the United States, but we also trained in Europe, looking at the specifics of the Columbus module, the European module. We went to Japan and we trained in their module. And then all the integrated training, safety, and everything is done in Houston.
All the trainers, all the people involved have so much pride in putting people in space safely. It's just amazing. We're less than -2 and we're watching the static fire. The Falcon 9 is going to take us to orbit.
Nice. So we just had the confirmation that they had a successful static fire. So hopefully we are going on Sunday. For us as a crew, I think we have come a long way. By now, I consider us as a family more than as a crewmates.
Flying with Peggy Whitson is one of the greatest honors of my life, having her as my commander. I've traveled literally around the world with her at training, and I've witnessed the reception and the welcome that she gets from the world spaceflight community, and it's truly amazing.
just moments away from seeing the crew for the first time today.
You know, if you've wanted something like I have for 60 years and then you go face it, you know, that's got to be some sort of ultimate.
This is our first live look at the X2 crew suited up for their mission to the International Space Station.
You kind of feel that reality that comes with the whole show. You know that people are now watching what you're doing.
I think all of us have had a chance to go to the launch area when a rocket was there. We've seen rockets launch, but when you go see your rocket.
This is the iconic Launch Complex 39A with a Falcon 9 rocket and Dragon spacecraft that are in the final stages of preparation.
Taking that moment in, but then doubling back and doing my job.
Coming down the arm now, you see here's Commander Peggy Whitson and pilot John Schaffner. Thumbs up from the KSA mission specialist, Rihanna Barnawi and Ali Al-Qarni.
We could see them adding their signature there.
I actually signed it in Arabic. It was the first Arabic word up there, and it said Saudi towards space.
The SpaceX support team is backing out of the capsule right now as we get ready for comp checks.
The clock continues to tick down.
The closeout technicians cleared the pad, leaving just the crew members inside the Dragon vehicle.
Close visors and arm launch escape system.
We're arming the launch escape system. With SpaceX, it's an instantaneous launch window, and there are no holds. If you can't get off at exactly that second, it's not going to work.
The ground operations teams are doing a series of system checks.
During the morning briefing, there was one issue that could have potentially caused us a scrub. We were told they were tracking a thunderstorm that was at 5 miles.
We have continued weather evaluations. We are monitoring an anvil cloud that is moving towards LC-39A. It's currently 5 miles away, and it just needs to remain outside of 3 miles for launch to continue. The weather officer is going to continue monitoring this cloud and will continue to provide updates to the launch teams. How copy?
We won't know we're going until T-minus 35 seconds.
We all watched minus 36 seconds, T-minus 35, no call.
We got to minus 35 seconds, and I'm like, we're going.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
Dragon, copy. Go for launch.
T-minus 10.
What does this mission mean to you?
7, 6,
I am excited just to be there again. It's, to me, like a second home.
1. Engines full power. And liftoff, Falcon 9. Go Axiom.
Together we expand what is possible in low Earth orbit. Ad Astra and Godspeed AX2.
Stand on the threshold of a remarkable journey thanks to your unwavering spirit to explore beyond our home planet and the endless possibilities it enables. Let's get to work and build some history together.
Every moment you anticipate, I'm getting closer to orbit, closer to orbit.
The moment we hit microgravity, it felt like I'm inside of a bubble.
I mean, I can't see my hands floating, but I was asking Peggy, are we in space now?
Hey gang, this is Dragon Freedom up here. Thank you so much for all your support getting us here.
This moment is historic, not just for me, but for every Saudi. As I look outside into space, I can't help but think this is just the beginning.
I opened the hatch from our side, and they opened the hatch from their sides, and everybody was welcoming. They were super happy to see us. Everybody said, welcome home for Peggy. It's like she was there yesterday. She never left.
And we have our first views of the Axiom crew members floating aboard.
On behalf of Expedition 69, it's an honor to welcome our new crewmates.
To see this place again, it means so much to me, and I think it actually brings people together just by being here.
We finished the welcoming ceremony. We started working ASAP.
Yes, I read you loud and clear. 17,500 miles an hour, 250 miles above Earth, somewhere on the other side of the planet, getting able to talk to your hometown.
This is Brendan Byrne with NPR calling the station for voice.
This is MIT.
This is a Porto British School. How do you hear me?
John, he had so much fun talking to the kids. He came away from that just beaming. I worked with him also on the art contest.
When I was 10, I painted a picture of astronaut Ed White on America's first spacewalk, and I wondered what would other 10-year-olds today be thinking about related to space like I was. We got over 900 submissions from 26 countries. It was really brought tears to your eyes, what they were actually thinking and their visions.
As a research scientist, Raianna had her first opportunities to use the life sciences glove box to perform the DNA nanotherapeutics mixing operations.
Being able to do that in zero gravity and how the solutions and media would behave.
She just was phenomenal in the glove box. It's her natural habitat.
She's enjoying it. She's actually smiling while doing it, which is crazy. I was going to the mission with the personal goal to just inspire the most people I could in Saudi or across the world. Because as a young kid, I wasn't exposed to space culture at all.
This is the first time the Saudi call sign HZ0ISS has ever been used on the International Space Station.
So I think I try to inspire younger generation to have a dream from being young.
One day they can be me or Ali.
And here's a great shot of Ali from inside the cupola, which are the windows to the world, a place where astronauts frequently go to capture images of the Earth.
When you drop into the cupola, the sound changes. You feel like you're dropping into this pool of water that you're just in, and everything behind you stops, and you just have this planet below you that's going around.
I remember before I went to bed, we have the world map so you can see where the ISS is flying over. And I saw we're gonna be flying over Saudi in about 5 minutes. So I grabbed the camera, I went in there, and it was magical to see our country from space for the first time. Ray with me with the video camera, and she's, all right, I told her that's Mecca or Jeddah, or that's her hometown.
It's a historical moment for Saudi Arabia. Just to relive that legacy of going to space and moving towards space.
I think, the science was a huge win. I think the outreach was a huge win. Demonstrating that private flights can produce something amazing was even better. It also shows that we can train government astronauts to be astronauts. We can assist in that process and make them successful.
With the remaining time on station, the crew is focused on packing the return cargo and preparing for undock.
Thank you to all the crew on board the International Space Station.
And for anyone that's thinking of, their opportunity to go to space, I encourage them to consider that.
Every story comes to an end, and this is only the beginning of a new era for our country and our region. So I would just like to thank everyone here who had helped us.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop to perp burn 0 nominal.
Axiom 2, it was a pleasure having you on board. We really appreciate all the hard work. Congratulations on an outstanding mission. Take care. Fly safe. Thank you for the hospitality.
Dragon systems look healthy. Good undock.
Oh, there's a beautiful shot. We can see that capsule now streaking through the night sky.
I think it gave me that feeling of this is why I'm here.
AX2 is back on the way.
It does feel like a dream. I still feel like it, and but it is a dream that I lived.
My crew is a mix of private astronaut who has always dreamed of being an astronaut, 2 Saudi astronauts going for the first time in more than 40 years, and also the first Arab woman on the International Space Station. It was interesting to me how that all fit so well together because the objectives were still very similar.
I would not accept the title of astronaut up until just recently because I didn't believe I deserved it or could do anything truly to earn it. And then we went to a Crayola event in Arizona, And a little kid came up to me and said, "Are you an astronaut?" And out of just reaction, I said, "Yes, I am."
John is the 598th astronaut.
Astronaut 598.
Everybody back home is going crazy about it. From younger generations to older people, they are talking about space in Saudi.
It's not just that you have a nation that's proud of you, but you are creating the idea that the infinite is possible and that space is a true opportunity.
What would you say to 10-year-old Rihanna?
Do you think she'll believe me when I say that one day you're going to be an astronaut? The first Saudi Arabian women astronaut to go to the International Space Station. Being able to see all the countries just become continents and the continents become a whole world that we need to take care of, that's a whole new perception for me.
You need to always work beyond what you think you're capable of. If you only do what you think you can do or that you're sure you can do, you will never find out what you're actually truly capable of. So much more than you might dream.